Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, grade 10. This is your TLE 10, and for this quarter, we are going to talk about computer literacy topics. So the main objectives of this course are to introduce computer technology concept to you, the students, discuss different generations of computers, discuss the different components and parts of a computer system, explain digital representation and the number systems, for you to practice the keyboard etiquette, and to introduce basic productivity tools, and also for you to apply it into real-world outputs. And inshallah, if we can achieve, or pag maabot pa natin ang Module 7, then we can talk about fundamental web development concepts. So I hope you already downloaded the modules or the module in Moodle. It's all in one file, but all 7 modules are in that one file. So first, we have history of computer technology. The second module is about computer parts and a little bit of networking concepts. The third module is about digital representation and number systems. Fourth module is about keyboard etiquette. The fifth module will be about the productivity tools, which is MS Word. And then the sixth module is about the MS PowerPoint. And the last module is fundamentals of web development. So today we are going to talk about module 1, which is brief history of computer technology. So anyway, your performance task is to create a diagram or infographic about the history of computer technology. It will be assigned later per group. And also, each module meron siyang performance task, guys. It is, of course, obviously, assigned to you so that you will perform it. And it is expected for you to do that and submit that next week before tayo magklase ulit. So, ibig sabihin, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, bago mag-Thursday, dapat naka-submit na kayo. Okay? And I really hope na i-download niyo yung module because instructions are provided in the module. But don't worry, I will also discuss it here. And by the way, we are having video lesson recording right now because MCM Cup ngayon at dalawa yung activity today, so I cannot find time to have an online class with you all. And also, wala atak mahanapan sa MCM. Napakalaking school pero apparently walang space for someone to have a... Well, anyway, outsider kasi ako, pero siguro kung taga doon ako, siguro maraming space for me. But then, I'm not from there. I cannot even go inside the library. So anyway, moving on. So anyway, guys, again, another thing is that pinibigay itong performance task ahead of time to you para walang para walang magreklamo na, teach, hindi ko alam. Teach, hindi nasabi. Teach, wala man. No, walang ganun tayo, no? Walang excuses. By the way, guys, this is TLE. Most of the mga ginagawa dito is application. So, ibig sabihin, sa grading system ninyo, mas mataas ang performance task kaysa sa written. And really though, itong modules na ito is like, computer literacy is more on really doing the activities rather than answering questions. So anyway, ibig sabihin guys, 60% ang performance task, 40% ang written works. But then, if hindi, okay, I have to make this clear with you, okay? Para walang magreklamo. Mga graduating pa naman kayo. I mean, mga grade 10 pa naman kayo. I have to make this clear, okay? So, kung hindi tayo makaabot ng at least 4 written works ha, then I will make the performance task 70% of your grade and then 30% lang ang written work, which is probably one long quiz and your summative test. Okay? If you have any objection or clarification against that, then tell me agad. Sabihan nyo ako agad para maka-adjust tayo. Okay? And also, by the way, kung may mga questions kayo guys, you can ask me directly in my email. It is in the module. Or you can also PM me in the messenger. I hope you know my Facebook account. It's just my name. Okay? Moving on. So, first, computers. Bago dumating ang mga bagay-bagay na ginagamit natin ngayon, meron tayong mga first computers. And the first computer is considered to be a first computer is the abacus. technically, hindi alam talaga yung origin nito, no? Kiniklaim ng China, kiniklaim ng tawag dito Egypt, kiniklaim ng Korea, but we really don't know saan nag-start ang abacus. Ang abacus is just a calculator. I don't even know how to use this thing. But apparently, mas madali daw mag-compute dito ng bagay-bagay. Feeling ko kaya kiniklaim ng China na sa kanila nang galing ang abacus because ang daming Chinese merchant ang gumagamit nito. And up until now, actually, preferable pa rin sa kanila ang abacus. And I really don't know how to use the abacus, but apparently, it's so easy to multiply huge numbers in this tool, using this equipment. So, technically, in all technicality, abacus is considered a first computer. Nandun yung concept, kung baga pa. By the way, guys, when we say computers, ang main tawag dito, iniisip nila before, is tig-compute. Literally, tig-compute, tig-calculate. Because before we have this equipment, these tools, these gadgets that we have, tao mismo ang nag-compute. Kaya nga, ang gagaling nila sa math dati. At kahit average na estudyante dati, for as long as nakapunta ka sa school or nakapag-aral ka, magaling ka sa math. Why? Because they memorized everything. Dahil nga walang calculator. Dahil nga walang computer. So, for example, ang logarithmic table, memorize yan nila. Kasi nga wala silang tool or wala silang gadget na kung saan ilagay lang nila log 9, meron ng answer. No, they have to memorize these things. And even the functions, even the formula, lahat ginamemorize nila. So that they can calculate. So, tao ang nag-calculate dati. At sa sobrang kagaling ng tao mag-calculate dati, guys, they can even calculate up to 4 or 6 decimal points. Ganun sila kagaling. In fairness, no? But then, in the advent of, what do you call this one? Actually, yung concept ng computer, embedded doon lahat, or hindi naman sa lahat, but rather, a combination of mathematics. Of course, mathematics. Karamihan talaga ng concepts that made computer technology as it is from mathematics. And then next, of course, mechanical engineering, of course, electrical engineering, of course, electronics and communications engineering, and of course, communications art. Because a lot of things that are made today in the computer is about communication. Di ba? Para makipag-communicate. Okay? So, maraming tawag dito concepts ang pinagkuhaan para magkaroon tayo ng computer technology that we know of as of today. So again, tig-compute. That is why technically abacus is considered to be a first computer. Now we have the difference engine, and this was created and designed by Charles Babbage. Now si Charles Babbage ay isa sa mga pioneering ng computer technology at siya ang nakaisip na dapat programmable ang computer. Why? Because before, guys, bago pa nagkaroon ng mga ganito, meron na rin ibang mga tao na magagaling at nakaisip na kailangan merong computer, no? But then, yung mga design nila is one way, kung baga pa. Like for example, after one calculation, you have to delete everything and then create another command para mag-calculate siya again. So it's impractical. Napaka-impractical. So sabi ni Charles Babbage, naisip niya na dapat siguro nandyan na dati, nakaprogram na dati, meron ng embedded commands at will, or depende on what is necessary or ano yung kailangan ng user, then they can just use the programs. But then again, wala pa masyado, napakabata pa ng concept ng computer technology at that time. So difference machine pa yung ginawa niya, or engine I should say. And most of the time, guys, again, tig-compute lang yung ginagawa nila. So, differential calculus ang mga ginagawa ng bagay na ito. Okay? Next, we have the analytical engine. Now, nag-upgrade si Charles Babbage. From difference engine, nakagawa siya ng analytical engine. And this engine can actually now compute a lot of things. And up to more than 10 digits na ng number. So, mas marami na siyang kayang i-compute. Okay? Next, we have the Hollerith tabulating machine. Si Herman Hollerith ay tig-census. Alam niyo ang tig-census, di ba? Tigbilang ng population. At that time, isa-isa. Like for example, sa isang district sa America, pupunta siya sa isang region or I don't know, isang lugar, let's say isang subdivision, bibilangin niya ang mga tao, then isusulat niya sa papel. I-add niya yung lahat, and that is the census of that area. Now, he realized, ito si Hollerith, na-realize siya ng, kahago ba? Nakapoy ng trabaho ko ba? Diba? Like, isa-isahin mo. Like, for example, kayo, God, mag-census kayo dito sa Dumanlas pa lang. How much people already? Tapos ginasulat-sulat niyo lang. Ang daming error, diba? And so, si Hollerith, at that time, naisip niya, what if maggawa ako ng semi-automated na tabulating machine? And this is Hollerith tabulating machine. Okay? Next naman, we have the Bush differential analyzer. Parang pinaghalong difference engine at saka analytical engine. Ito si Vannevar Bush. Okay? Ito ang ginawa niya. And again, meron na tayong mga mechanisms dito that could calculate huge amounts of number, but wala pa rin yung, kumbaga pa, yung design or framework na nakikita natin right now na merong system within the computer. Kung saan meron siyang storage, and then meron siyang tig-command, meron siyang tig-process, and then later on, i-output natin yung results. Wala pa yun. Okay? So, most of the time, dito sa mga, tawag dito sa era na ito, guys, ang output is printed. Printed siya sa napakahabang tape of paper or roll of paper. Ganon, no? Ang ano. So, mahirapan sila maghanap ng output or result. Sometimes nakakaroon pa rin ng human error. Okay, next we have Icahns Digital Calculators. Ito medyo bago-bago na to. Medyo, 19 na siguro to. 1947 or something, 1940s. Tapos na ata ang World War II nito. Or, yeah, feeling ko tapos na ang World War II dito. Guys, paki-check yung yung modules ninyo because I've put the dates in your modules. And I'm not good with dates. That's why, I kind of feel most of the things. Anyway, so ito si Icahn Digital Calculators. Again, with the same thing, with the same thing in mind, they wanted to calculate huge amounts of number and up to tawag dito, mahabang decimal place because they wanted to be accurate. Speed and accuracy ang gusto ng mga tao dati because that is one thing that we cannot get with human computers. Yung tig-compute na tao. Hindi tayo mabilis mag-compute, although magagaling sila, no? But with huge amount of numbers, hindi ka na talaga ganun kabilis. Like, okay, makita natin yung mga, ngayon, no? Yung mga Indians, kayo teach me, nakita gani akong Indians, kaya nila calculate ng 8 digits number in their head in just a few seconds. Okay, not a problem, that's really good. But then, itong mga tao na kasi ito guys, no, dati, they are using computers for wars. World War II. Ginagamit nila ito for projectile ng tangke. So, it cannot be na, okay, magtira na tayo, ano man ang calculation, engineer. O diba? And then the engineer is like taking his time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes mag-calculate. That cannot be. So, kailangan ng speed. And also, kailangan ng accuracy. Like for example, okay, engineer, saan natin to ilagay? Siguro feeling ko 45 degrees angle, tapos northeast bound, tapos ganitong speed. That cannot be, hindi pwedeng hula-hula lang. Kaya nga ang daming casualty, no? Noong World War I at saka World War II. And actually, one of the main reasons as well na ginawa ang computer is because of that. Ang daming casualty, ang daming namatay due to human error. And so they wanted to lessen the casualty to make a pinpoint target during World War II. But actually, it's a whole, just a little bit factor lang yun siya. But anyway, moving on. So itong Icahns Digital Calculator, it could now, huge amounts of data ang kaya niyang i-calculate. And it is very fast already. But not as fast as the computers that we know nowadays. Okay? Pero at that time, no, at that era, it was already fast. Next is the Turing machine. The Turing machine, or this is developed by Alan Turing. And Alan Turing is one of the forefathers really of computing or computer technology. At siya na po ang nakaisip. Siya ang nakaisip na dapat ang computer marunong mag-isip. A computer should be able to think. And how would a computer be able to think? At that time, around 1940s, no, early 1950s, Alan Turing was already thinking that a computer should think. at that age, wala pang nakaisip ng AI. Hindi pa artificial intelligence ang naiisip nila. But rather, Turing just really wanted the computer to think, hindi yung napaka-manual ng pag-input ng user or ng tao. And so, he designed the concept or the framework that we are still using nowadays with the modern computers. Na kailangan merong storage ang computer, meron siyang control unit, meron siyang tig-process, central processing unit, at meron siyang tig-gawa or tig-operate ng mga basic operations such as arithmetic and logical unit, and then dapat maka-output siya at maka-input, or the basic input-output system, which later on in Module 2, we are going to tackle as well. So, ganun. And that is actually one of the best designs or concept that was given by Alan Turing. Pero hindi lang ito siya, guys, ha? Siyempre, isang buong grupo yan sila. There is not a single person in the computing technology or not even in any field of science na masabi mo na siya lang mag-isa. Of course, may katulong talaga yan sila. Okay? So, this is a Turing machine, and basically, ang main problem at that time, no? Okay, konting history lang. Wala ito sa module ninyo. So, si Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz, isang German mathematician dati, ang iniisip niya before pa nakaisip tayo ng computing or any about computer technology concepts, ang iniisip ni Leibniz is that should all problems be solvable? Or are all problems solvable or computable? Okay, nandun na yung compute, no? Compute na term. Okay, yun ang problema ni Leibniz. So, alam niyo naman kasi yung mga mathematicians before, they have to have proof. They have to have a lot of proof that can be proven, and then pag na-prove mo na yun, it can be a theory. Okay. Now, yun ang pinoproblema that time ni Leibniz. Are all problems computable? Bakit niya pinoproblema yun? Kasi nga, nandun na sila, on the brink na sila of what do you call this one, getting the idea or getting the sense of the computer technology. Gusto ngang malaman ni Leibniz kung makompute ba ang problem so that ang lahat ng problems, so that we can have a computer. We can have a gadget that could compute those problems. Yun ang gustong i-point out ni Leibniz. Now, there are two other very good mathematicians that came up to the challenge. Okay, it was Alonzo Church at saka si Alan Turing. Now, they were like, okay, edi gumawa tayo ng something to prove that all problems are computable. Now, ito si Alonzo Church, ang ginamit niya or ang ginawa niya is lambda calculus. Ang lambda calculus is just a set of rules or algorithm, no? It's just a set of rules or algorithm na kung saan mas simplify niya ang kahit anong klaseng mathematical problem. And he said that if we cannot simplify it, then it is not a mathematical problem. Okay, si Alonzo Church yun. And by the way, guys, kung sino sa inyo yung gustong mag-IT or I don't know, computer science field, lambda calculus is really good. You know, you might want to check it out. I don't know kung sino lang yung interested. Lambda calculus is really good. Anyway, next, we have Alan Turing. At si Alan Turing naman, ang pinakita niyang solution para kay Leibniz is the Turing machines, which are automatons. Anong ibig sabihin ng automatons? It's just a simulation na kung saan pine-present niya yung mathematical problem as an automated problem. If it can be automated, then therefore it is computable. And that is where this computer technology really came from. Automation. Hindi mo na kailangan ng tao na tig-compute. Ibigay mo lang sa tig-compute or sa automated computer or sa, at that time, ang tawag nila is automaton, okay? Ibigay mo lang doon ng input at siya na ang mag-process. Okay? So, that is why Turing machines are still until now, no? Pinapag-aralan pa rin siya. Because of the simplicity but yet complexity of the concept. Okay, so that is the Turing machines. Next, we have now the generations of computer. And what do you call this one? Because hindi po tayo nagsimula sa nakita ninyo na computer, no? Maraming nangyari bago natin na-achieve itong, what do you call this one, computers na ginagamit natin as of today. So we have first generation, second generation, third generation. So in the first generations, guys, pakitingnan na lang yung dates. I'm not good with dates. Okay, around 1946, 1959. So again, no, parang post-World War II na invento ang vacuum tubes. And vacuum tubes are, what do you call this one, mga, ano siya, no, maliit siya na conduct ng electricity. And that is why they were able to create a computer at that time, and it runs on vacuum tubes. However, itong vacuum tubes, guys, it needs like hundreds or thousands bago siya maka-operate ng isang buong computer. Isa lang, ha? And so, that is why it took a lot of space. No? Kailangan mo ng isang buong kwarto, ng isang buong classroom para sa iisang computer. And aside from that, vacuum tubes is like the bulb, yung bulb dati. Hindi yung LED lights na meron tayo ngayon, ha. Yung bulb dati, guys, pag hinawakan mo, good luck sa'yo. Mainit siya. Okay, so it used too much electricity and generated too much heat, yung vacuum tubes. So it is very expensive and it relied on machine language. Anong ibig sabihin ng machine language? At that time, kailangan manual pa masyado ang paglagay mo ng input at kailangan alam mo kung paano mag-operate ng machine na yun. Unlike today na nag-evolve na yung user or human-computer interaction ng mga concepts. And that is why meron yung mga input devices natin ngayon na very intuitive and very user-friendly. Yung alam mo yung titingnan mo pa lang, parang meron ka ng idea kung paano siya mag-work. But before, guys, no, it cannot be. When you look at the computers before, it looks like, wow, a huge monstrosity, parang ganun yung dating niya. And you feel like, pag may magalaw ka lang doon na lever or may mag-push ka na button, it will just fall apart, you know. So anyway, that is the first gen computers. And some of the examples are ENIAC, UNIVAC, EDVAC, IBM 701, IBM 650, and others. By the way, guys, this picture is the ENIAC. And just a little bit of trivia, the first ever company to build a computer, hardware yung meron na talaga siyang hardware, is IBM, or International Business Machines, and this is one of their first ever computers, IBM 701. As you can see, it look very, very different from the computers that you know nowadays. Wala siyang monitor, wala siyang, ang output device niya is simply print out things. You know, pag input mo ng mga bagay-bagay, for example, gusto mo mag-solve ng, let's say, 2 plus 2. I-input mo sa keys na yan, dyan sa panel na yan, ang 2, and then yung operation niya, which is addition, and then another 2, and then i-print niya agad ang answer. Hindi tulad sa mga laptops natin ngayon or desktop computers na ilagay mo yung 2 plus 2 using the keyboard, and then you will see it on the monitor. No, it's a different thing. Okay? So that is the first generation of computers. The second generation used transistors. Now, itong transistor naman, guys, mas maliit na siya kaysa sa vacuum tubes. And, what do you call this one? Inexpensive. So, now, pwede na tayong maggawa ng medyo mas compact at mas maliit na computer with less electricity na ginagamit. And this time around, the computer now uses assembly language. Anong ibig sabihin ng assembly language? You are now directly talking to the register of the computer. Not exactly the machine itself, but rather, kumbaga pa may interpreter ka na konti sa gitna. Okay? Kumbaga pa, like for example, pag nakikipag-usap ang isang Pilipino sa Japanese, meron na siyang TIG sign language ba? TIG sign language sa gitna, so that they can at least magkaintindihan sila ng konti. Okay guys, hindi pa siya totally na translator, kasi mamaya pa yon sa third generation. Okay? Now, in second generation, the computers already use batch processing combined with multi-programming operating system. Because doon sa first generation, guys, di ba nga, one way karamihan ng trabaho. Pero dito sa second generation, at least, gina-per batch niya yung commands na binibigay ng user, and then it will be able to simultaneously run those commands. Pero kailangan niya mga munang i-batch, i-per batch. Okay? And this time around, meron na tayong mga programming languages, which is COBOL and Fortran. Ang ibig sabihin ng Fortran is Formula translator. And if I'm not mistaken, Fortran was used in yung paglipad ni oh my gosh, anong pangalan ni Armstrong, ni Neil Armstrong papuntang moon. Yeah, Fortran yung ginamit ng computer nila doon. Fortran ang programming language na ginagamit ng computer nila doon. Actually, up until now, guys, ang NASA, meron pa rin silang mga systems na ginagamit na lumang programming language ang tawag dito, ang ginagamit nila, like Lisp or Fortran. Although most of their, of course, yung systems nila upgraded na, gumagamit na sila ng Python or Java nowadays, but they still keep some old systems because mahirap i-upgrade. And also, for security purposes, kasi nga, konti na lang ang gumagamit ng mga lumang programming languages, so, it's for security purposes. Very few, ibig sabihin, ang pwedeng makakrack or makahack into their system because lumang programming language nga ang gamit. Okay, so this time around, second-gen computers now has primary memory and storage. So, ibig sabihin, programmable na siya. Ibig sabihin, yung ginawa mo kanina, pag gusto mo lang siyang baguhin, pwede mo siyang palitan and then reprint the result. Unlike nga kanina sa first gen, one-way nga. One-way trip. Pagkatapos mo ginawa yung isang calculation, tapos na. Pag gusto mo ulitin yung calculation na yun, ulitin mo ulit lahat ng pag-input, lahat ng paglagay ng operation, input ulit, and then result again. Print again the result. But now, in the second gen, at least meron na siyang storage. Okay? So some of the examples, we have UNIVAC, 1108, CDC 3600, IBM again, still, IBM really flourished in these generations, first, second, and third. Up until, if I'm not mistaken, until fourth ata, because, ngayon lang ata naghina ang IBM sa nowadays, pero malakas talaga ang IBM. Okay, so this is an example of, what do you call this one? A second-gen computer. Medyo mas maliit na siya, di ba, sa first-gen. At ito naman yung example ng kanyang disk. Imagine nyo guys, yung mga disks na yan, dyan nakasave yung mga files. Okay? So, you are practically looking at a life-size hard drive. I'm not sure kung na-imagine niyo yung hard drive. Okay, para ma-imagine nyo pa. Yung isang cabinet dyan, that is like a human life-size USB. Yung USB na ginabulsa-bulsa nyo lang, yung ganun kaliit. Okay, para mas makita nyo pa talaga yung difference. Memory card ng cellphone ninyo, ng smartphone ninyo. That rows of disks that you are seeing now in the picture is almost the same, or not really almost the same. Tawag dito, similar to the memory. Actually, mas malakas pa nga yung memory card ninyo kaysa dyan sa mga roll of tapes na yan. Probably, itong data na nandito sa picture na ito, guys, I don't know, 1 gig lang ata siguro to, or 2 gigs. Which is what? 2 gigs na USB kaya nyong ibulsa ngayon. That is really the difference and how computer technology has really upgraded over the years. Okay, next, let's have third generation. And this time around, they used ICs or integrated circuits. Don't worry, guys, when we get to Module 3, which is digital representation and number systems, we are going to talk more about IC or the integrated circuit and how it really is crucial. Napaka-crucial niya para magawa natin yung computer na alam natin today. Okay? So, now, ang third-gen computers, they have introduced keyboards now and monitors. So, ibig sabihin, pwede ka na, parang yung itsura talaga ng desktop or laptops that we are using nowadays. So, we can also, in third generation, meron na rin siyang remote processing, time sharing, and multi-programming operating systems. Which means that you can now really create or tawag dito, input commands at the same time, and the computer will just calculate both commands. Okay? So, nag-upgrade din ang ating mga programming languages, So, anyway, just look at the programming languages. I will not discuss them anyway. So, those are only example. Meron tayong COBOL, Fortran 2 to 4, BASIC, Pascal, and then ALGOL. And then, IBM 360 Model 91 is a very specific model from IBM, was estimated to solve more than 1,000 problems and 200 billion calculations in a second. At that time, during the third generation, it was already pretty impressive. Guys, pag maisip nyo calculations yun lahat, teach. Well, ang calculations kasi sa computer, guys, kasali doon yung mga ibang commands. Like for example, yung pagpasa ng register from storage to the processing unit, or the processing unit getting information from the arithmetic and logical unit. All of those are calculations in the computer. That is why umaabot ng 200 billion calculations in a second. But in reality, guys, yung mga cellphone niyo right now, even in the background, di ba? It is performing a lot of calculations. Yung calculations kasi siguro na iniisip nyo, yung calculations na, solving things in math, something like that. But computer, sa computer technology, even a simple command as transferring data from one to another, that is, tawag dito, ibang calculation na yun siya. Kasi nga maraming process ang nangyayari. And also, pagdating natin doon sa digital representation, you will realize that a lot of conversions are happening within the computer. Lalo na coming from the natural language of a human being at gina-convert niya into the machine language, which is yun lang naman talaga ang maintindihan ng computer, the binary system. So later on, ma-realize yun na, ang dami pala talagang nangyayaring calculations in the background. And at this time, itong calculation pala na ito kumbaga pa, at that time, nung third generation, okay na ito siya masyado, napaka-awesome na nito. But in reality, right now, in your era, nowadays, tama lang yan, yung 200 billion calculations, okay? Next, so this is an example of an IBM 360. As you can see, that is a really good one. However, may printer na siya, cutie. But, I don't know where is the monitor of this one. Hindi kasali sa picture, but okay. And this is another IBM personal computer. Guys, dito rin ata nag-start na yung may personal computer na. Ganito pa yung mga computer dati. Guys, napaka-fluid ng transition from third generation up until fourth generation, guys, ha? So, huwag masyadong malito because this right here, this picture right here, could look like a fourth generation. Pero yung system niya sa loob is still using the technology of third generation, okay? You will see that when we give an example for fourth generation computers. Now, fourth generation computers, microprocessors na ang gamit. Ayan, nakita nyo naman, boom! Ganyan na kaliliit ngayon ang mga microprocessors. And it can process a lot of things in a millisecond. Actually, nowadays, it's nanosecond. So, ganun ka, grabe yung technology natin nowadays. So, let's go with 4th gen. Ito, feeling ko naabutan nyo na, pero batang-bata pa kayo. So, anyway, 4th gen used large-scale integration at saka very large-scale integration techniques. Kaya, yung kalalaking vacuum tubes, yung milyon-milyon na transistor, yung mga kadaming IC ay nilagay lang sa napakaliit na microchip. Okay? That technology, guys, that technique, yung large-scale integration, of course, galing yan sa concept ng engineering and they are the ones who developed that technique. So, in this era, nagkaroon na ng PC or personal computers. And then, more powerful na siya, reliable, and inexpensive. That is why, mga households, ay nakabili na ng PC. And then, nag-upgrade na rin ang ating programming languages. We have now C, C++, D-Base, and others. And then, we have Intel 4004. This is the first ever processor developed by Intel. And we now have memory, I/O, or input-output, and the processor are included in one single board. And later on, you will know that this board is called the motherboard. In module 2 pa natin yun siya pag-uusapan. So this is an example of a computer, 4th gen computer. Cutie na siya, no? Pero ganyan, tingnan nyo guys, ganyan pa ang tingnan yung ano niya, yung lock screen ni Kuya, 2050p. Masaya na kami dati guys na ganyan yung itsura ng namin, screensaver namin. Oo, no? Masaya na kami, nagyan black and white. Masaya na nga kami na medyo may pagka-color green dati. Anyway, moving on. So, but then, a 4th generation computer could also look like this. Around 2000, early 2000s, 4th gen pa rin yun siya. Because of the microprocessor. Guys, if I'm not mistaken, nag-start ang 5th gen around 2009, 2010. Tawag dito, after ng Pentium series ng IBM. After ng Pentium, nag-start na sila ng, hindi ng IBM, oh my gosh, ng Intel. Okay. After ng Pentium, nag-start na sila ng Celeron, if I'm not mistaken. And so, yung Celeron, 5th gen na yun siya, starting of the 5th gen computers na yun siya because of the technique that was used, which is ULSI, or Ultra Large Scale Integration. So, ibig sabihin, ultra na gid siya, hindi na lang siya very large, grabe na siya. Ultra Large Scale Integration. And that is why, panayit ang mga microchip ngayon at pabilis ng pabilis. Okay? And this time around, AI-based na ang ating mga system and parallel hardware processing. So meaning, a lot of different hardwares can be used at different commands. You wanna see laptops using 3-4 printers at the same time at hindi nalilito ang computer. Yeah, not a problem, right? Iba-ibang klaseng printer pa. Yung isa inkjet, yung isa laser, yung isa pang tarpaulin, but that's not a problem. The computer can handle all of those things. That is what you call parallel hardware processing. And also, the computer programming languages that we have are very intuitive, very, not exactly complex. Complex yung background na ginagawa ng mga programming languages natin, pero yung paggamit ng user, it is almost natural language na. Na para bang nakikipag-usap ka na lang sa computer with your native tongue. Ganun ang dating niya. And also, continuous work on AI tech and other branches of AI such as robotics, neural networking, natural language generation, game playing, expert systems, and etc. are now being developed in the 5th generation. Although guys, I hope you will understand that although ngayon pa lang na-develop yung mga outputs, yung mga technology about robotics, about neural networking, about all of these things, AI-based concepts, but the concept itself started way back. Like way back. Like kahit sila Plato ata naisip na nila ito. Actually, kahit ang Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, naisip niya na nga yung headset dati, di ba? Nasabi niya na tawag dito, na-prophesize niya yun. Nasabi niya, ang music will just simply come to the ears of the believers. What is that? Headset. Di ba? And sabi niya, meron din time ang mga believers, they can watch entertainment on their hands. What is that? Smartphones, tablets, right in your hands. You know? So anyway, the concepts, matagal na, no? Pero yung technology, yung mechanisms, yung hardware, yung engineering na kailangan for that specific technology to be manifested, no? Tulad ng humanoids or robots, matagal nang naisip yan ng tao, di ba? Pero ngayon ka lang nakakakita na grabe, may mga robot na talaga sa kalsada, meron na talagang Robocop na totoo. Ngayon lang, but the concept, matagal na. Okay? So anyway, that is the 5th generation. Yung ginagamit natin ngayon, yan na yung 5th generation computers. Anyway, pahapyawan ko lang itong types of computers, guys. Supercomputer, mainframe, mid-range, micro, workstation, at saka server. So supercomputers are supercomputers. Pakibasa na lang ito, guys. I will be sending the PowerPoint in the, what do you call this one? In the Moodle, or kung sino yung may GC sa inyo, I will send that to one of your classmates and then share the PowerPoint to you. Basta ang supercomputers, guys, most of them are used in huge laboratories. Yung mga nag-research. You know? Pero kailangan talaga yung mga super lalaking data ang gina-process niya. Probably Google Hub. Tawag dito yung data warehouse ng Google. Of course, they use supercomputers. Data warehouse ng NASA. Of course, they use supercomputers. Ayan, kailangan nga daw weather forecasting o pag-asa dito sa Philippines, they have supercomputers, fluid dynamics, nuclear simulations, theoretical astrophysics. So any agencies that are performing this type of things, they have to have supercomputers. We have mainframe computers. Ayan ang itsura ng mainframe, but it comes in a lot of, tawag dito, marami pang ibang design ng mainframe. Basta ang mainframe lang is capable of handling and processing very large amounts of data quickly. Yan na nga, yung mga malalaking server ng Facebook, server ng Instagram, ilang tao ba ang online at gumagamit ng Facebook at the same time within a day? So, kailangan mabibilis na computer ang nag-process nun. So, that is one use of mainframe computers. We have mid-range computers. At dahil nga sa mid-range siya, no, it is like a in-between. In-between siya ng mainframe at saka ng microcomputers. So kumbaga pa, nasa gitna siya. It can handle some of the tasks for a mainframe, but it can also handle some things that are used for microcomputers. And microcomputers, guys, is just the same as, or no, I should not say the same, represented now by personal computers. Kasi nga, single user system ang microcomputers. By the way, this is an example of mid-range computer. And microcomputers are what we know as the PC or the personal computer. Kasi nga single use siya, no? So this is like a very brief evolution of a microcomputer. Ganyan dating itsura, merong ganitong itsura. As you can see, meron na siyang printer, and then meron din ganito, and then meron yung mga ganyan. And meron na ngayon yung built-in, hindi yan na kailangan ng system unit, nandun na mismo. Mac, if I'm not mistaken, Apple is the one who designed that kasi kahit sa kanila, no, yung first ever computer nila, wala talagang system unit. Built-in talaga sa monitor. Okay? So anyway, that is microcomputers. And there are different types of microcomputers as well. Basta sinabing micro, guys, madali, portable, madaling dalhin. Yun ang microcomputers. So you have desktop. And you'll be like, teach, madali ba dalhin ng desktop? Yes, at least madala mo siya. Diba? Subukan mong magdala ng mainframe. Of course not. Yeah? You can't. Okay, so anyway, yun ang ibig sabihin ng microcomputer, you can, as a human being, madala mo siya on your own. Now, we also have rack mount computers. Rack mount computers are usually used in servers. And then, ilalagay mo lang siya sa taas ng server so that you can access the server, or it can be a standalone computer as well. And then, we also have in-car computers. Masyado atang high-tech yung nakuha kong tawag dito. Example, but it's still an in-car computers. And actually, kahit nga yung mga nasa ano nyo guys, nasa ref, sa mga washing machine, sa mga air fryer, those are all computers. Iba-ibang klase lang, but those are all computers. Next, we have laptop or notebooks. Okay, alam nyo to, of course. We have tablet computers. Alam nyo to, of course. Smartphones, smartbooks, laptops. Oh, di ba? Lobat na ako. Anyway, and we have programmable computers, calculators, and of course, video game and handheld game consoles. So workstation computer naman is almost the same as a PC, but it is used for or built for a specific purpose. Okay? So for example, kung isa kang web developer, so kailangan meron kang workstation at yung specifics or yung tawag dito, specs or specifications ng computer na yan is of course suitable for web development. Or for example, if you are a film editor, so yung workstation mo is of course you are going to customize that para maka-edit ka ng films at high speed. Okay, so that is the meaning of workstation computers. And lastly, we have server computers. Sa isang network, no, meron tayong mga servers at siya ang nag-handle ng lahat ng computers or units na nakakabit sa isang network. And that is the server. Kaya nga, server ang tawag sa kanya. Now, meron akong hindi nadagdag dito guys, the gaming computers. The same as workstation computers, you're going to customize that PC or that personal computer into a gaming computer. Of course, pataasan mo yung GPU niya, di ba? Bilagyan mo siya ng another terabyte na na tawag dito na SSD para mabilis masyado ang gaming mo. Ewan ko kung ano nilalaro nyo, di ba? Ganoon mga bagay. Para smooth ang paglaro niyo. So, gaming computers are also a type of microcomputers. Okay, anyway, that's it for today, guys. And by the way, guys, yung types of computers, wala yan siya sa ano ninyo? Sa module ninyo. So, make sure that you watch this video lesson or make sure to study the PowerPoint later on. So, anyway, your performance task, create a diagram. So, for the group 1, diagram of first computers. Okay, ano tong grouping stitch? Kung paano nakasulat ang pangalan ninyo alphabetically, mauna ang male, sunod ang female. Yan ang groupings natin. So, the first 5 males, yun sila ang group 1. The number 6 to number 10 na males, they are the group 2. Ang group 3 naman is the first 5 female, and then the 6 to number 10 females are the group 4. Okay, I hope madali lang siya intindihin because really though, that is so easy to understand. Again, submit your final work in the teacher's email, list.encoder.sura@gmail.com. And then, ang subject, very specific ang subject guys, para madali kong makita kasi ang daming nagsisend sa akin ng email. So, dapat ang subject ninyo is G10 Computer Literacy Module 1 Performance Task. Okay? So, I hope everything is clear. If it's not clear, then just PM me or email me or whatnot. Okay? So, thank you so much for attending the class today or actually watching the video lesson. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.